23rd of April 2024. Today has been 4 weeks since I had my hip operation, and if you've been following me along, you know that it all went downhill from there. It's been a very long journey from the hip operation to then developing what they still think is an allergic reaction, and they think it's an allergic reaction to the aspirin. Just trying to balance this so I don't drop it. You've probably seen as well how bad my legs actually got. They put me on a whole heap of other drugs to combat maybe this drug, and one of the medications was what is it called? Prednisolone. I think it's called prednisolone. And from what I was led to believe, it's like a steroid. It's a steroid. I was taking 25 milligram, and within 24 hours, I could feel a difference in the pain, and it wasn't the prednisolone that it was actually stopping the pain, but I think it was starting to do the job that it was given for. So it was actually, I'm trying to get it where my glasses are not actually reflecting. So the prednisolone, I believe, is a steroid, and it was kind of doing its job and working on the blood vessels, because I think what I've got was restricting the blood vessels. So everything was swelling up, and it was just restricting the blood vessels, and the pain was the actual I forget what it was called. The pain was like, I think it was the pain in the blood vessels contracting. I think that's what it was. Within 24 hours of starting the prednisolone, I believe, there was a marked difference, and I was able to get control of the pain. I took the 25 milligram of prednisolone for I think that was like 5 days or 6 days, and then Thursday just gone, and it's Tuesday today. I had to start taking 12.5 milligram, and I've seen probably every 2 days, a marked difference in the colouring on my legs, and so there's definite improvement. I ended up basically getting sores or pus ball on my legs, and they would just continually leak, and we had dressing on them for probably about 4 or 5 days. But what was happening with the dressing, because I had a dressing, then I had a bandage around my legs, but I couldn't put a dressing on every single sore, and so the bandage was just rubbing it continually and knocking the heads off the sores, and it was leaking, and it's been a pretty nasty experience actually. One of the main problems I had, and I found this to be really disappointing, when I went to see the dermatologist, he asked me to get the medication list from the moment that I was admitted to when I was discharged, because he wanted to know every single substance that had been administered to me while I was in the main hospital for the duration of the hip surgery and recovery. Now, there seems to be a problem because it was a private hospital. They do not have to give me that paperwork, and they refused to give me the paperwork. I got on to the surgeon who put me onto the anaesthetist, and I couldn't get past the receptionist or telephonist, whatever she wants to call herself. And even though I said I wanted to get it under the Freedom of Information Act, apparently they don't have to give it to you if it's a private hospital. It is only if it's a public holiday or a government office. I then sent an email to my GP, and I have asked her to see if she can help me. I had a quick phone call with her first, and she said she would do it. She said, look, even though I can do it, but whether they give it to me is another thing. So I really am not holding out any hope at all of getting the list of medications that anything that they administered to me while I was in hospital. Let me see, where are we now? 23rd. I think in 6 days, maybe 7 days, I'm supposed to be coming off of the aspirin anyway. And because I take one every day. And so I'm hoping then that when that starts to leave my system, and if it is the aspirin that's doing it, then hopefully I'll see a quicker change in my legs. Now, because I'm on modified aspirin, because I have CAA, instead of taking the aspirin for 6 weeks, they cut that down to, or 6 to 8 weeks it was going to be. They modified it to, that I would take it for 35 days, I think. 35 days. So then to me, because I'm taking it to make sure I don't get a blood clot, because apparently after you have your hip replaced, it does tend to bleed a lot. And so the blood thinner is to obviously make sure that no clot develops. So I am a little bit nervous that I will be ending it early. I'm glad of that. I wish I didn't have to take it. But I am a little bit worried then that there is the potential for a blood clot to form. So I have to find out, kind of what to look out for there. So how am I going with my hip rehab? It was very slow. I couldn't do the exercises. I couldn't bend my legs. I couldn't, because they were completely swollen. I couldn't do the exercises where you lay on the bed and do the exercises anymore, because as I moved my leg, it was rubbing the sores off on the sheets and that, and it was bloody excruciating. I think though that where I'm at now with my hip replacement, I think I'm in a good place, unfortunately, and my physio says it is something to do with the fact that my hip tilts down or something like that, but my leg is actually it's actually longer than the leg that did not get operated on. Now it sounds impossible, right? And I'll give you that. I don't know, I can't work that one out, but it is. And so there's a really decisive limp when I'm walking. If I'm using the sticks, there's not so much a limp because you kind of take the weight off that. But when I'm trying to walk without the walking canes, there's a decisive limp. Now, I'm not so worried about the limp. I'll have to get something to put in my shoes to raise the height up to equal it out somewhat. So I'm not real fussed about that. It is what it is. I'm actually laying in bed right now because I didn't have a rest today, and so I wasn't able to put my legs up, and it's only about 7:30 at night, and all of a sudden the pain just started to ramp up, and I haven't had pain in my legs, not excruciating pain, as far as like just out of control pain, since I think the 4th, so maybe 2.5 weeks, nearly 3 weeks. But I think what it is both my legs have swollen up really badly, and I just think it's constricting the blood vessels, and I think that's why the pain's ramped up. I'm just about off of all my meds now, and I've been weaning myself off of tramadol. And in fact, I was only having 1 tramadol a day, and that was to go to bed, just so to make sure that I had plenty of sleep. So the pill I take at night, the tramadol I take at night, is a 50 milligram fast release, and that was doing me. And the only pain that I had then through the night is if I had to get up to go to the toilet, my ankles and all the skin around my ankles, basically, it's like it freezes up, and then to have to move those ankles, it's like it triggers all the nerve endings, and it's really painful there. I'm quite happy. If I didn't have this problem with my legs, then I think I would be just walking around normal, because by now I would have got something for the inner sole of my shoe. I wanted to wait till I saw the physio, because I didn't know whether this is a normal thing, and I don't know, because she just didn't seem to know either. But happy where that is. Now that I'm getting out and about a bit more mentally, I'm doing a lot better. I did have last week, I had 2 cousins. One was a cousin, one was my auntie, my older auntie, and they both passed away, and my sister had been really, really not well. She'd had, I don't know whether it's called a code red or a code blue, called on her twice when she got put in hospital. That was a bit scary. So mentally not good. But last Saturday, because it's Tuesday today, so Saturday, I said to my husband, take me to the mall. I want to go buy a pair of slippers. So it gave me something to have to get out for. So we did that, and I bought 2 pairs of slippers. Unfortunately, only the right foot fits. But that's okay. Soon I will be able to get it on the other foot. It does worry me somewhat about the future. So the worry I have in the future is if I was to ever need a hip replacement again, or say even, and I would say maybe, I don't know whether with a knee replacement, whether you, or whatever they do for that, whether you have to have blood thinners, because I don't ever want to have blood thinners again. I definitely don't want to have to take aspirin again. I was actually planning this year. I've got a few tattoos, and I was planning on getting one more, and I wanted that was going to be a love heart, fancy love heart with Dad, and underneath was going to have the East Surrey Regiment and his army number. I am very proud of my dad. My dad was in World War II. He enlisted, I think he was 20 years old. By 21, he had been shot in Tunisia. He was missing in action, and he was finally found and listed as a prisoner of war. And he was in prison in the Stalag something or other, I forget. And I think he was 25 when the war ended, and the Stalags were all, there's a special word for it, when he went home. And my dad never spoke about it. He always had trouble because he got shot in the arm here. It kind of went in around here, like this. I can't really show you, but it went out the back. So where it went in at the front, it came out further down. So it must have been like that trajectory. And he never really talked about the war, and it wasn't until I was over 30, and he died, I think I was 30 or 31 when he died. And while researching my family history, I found the paperwork that listed him as missing, and then more paperwork that listed him as a prisoner of war. But I wanted that tattoo. It was the last tattoo I was ever going to get. But I'm too scared to go ahead and have it. I don't know what caused this reaction, and therefore I won't be voluntarily putting anything in my body again, because this has been hard. I still got a long way to go, but I'm getting there. And I don't know. It's been hard. I've withdrawn into myself, and having done that, I've missed out on maintaining the interaction that I have with a friend of mine in Canada. And I'm so sorry for that. I've lost myself in my own self-pity. And I know that at this time, my friend in Canada, and I call her Canada, she's having some hard times too, but I haven't been there for her. And I'm so sorry, Sharon. I haven't been able to. I've been lost. Really lost. And, ow. Oh. Ouch. So I'm going to try to make a big effort and be there for her, because she's been there for me through so much. I still have some videos to put up. I'm going to still do some videos on walking. I'm back doing my exercises now. I walk around a fair bit. I am having trouble in the bloody awful chair that you have to sit in because of my back problem. I can't believe that I've sat in that thing for nearly 4 weeks when you take out a few days that I've been in hospital. It would have been easier, I think, if I hadn't had the back pain as well. I've managed to sleep on my back with a pillow between my legs at night to make sure I don't roll over. That's been really quite successful. My husband's been great. I don't think I could have, if I'd had to come home and lived on my own, I don't know how someone does it on their own. I mean, goodness gracious, if your knickers fall down, you can't pick them up. And I do keep a pickup stick in the bathroom because I've got a toilet in the bathroom. But there's been many a time I've dropped my pants and I've struggled to pick them up. My husband's been great. So some of the hard times, well, as I say, was in the beginning, because I had trouble getting my operated leg up and on bed. Now, I did buy a leg raiser, and what that is a strap, and it goes around your foot, and you can actually pull your leg up while you are getting your other leg out. However, because these sores came all over my foot, so they were basically from the top of my legs all the way down, and I couldn't use the leg raiser because the strap was just too painful. So my loving husband has been there to lift my leg for me. He lifts my leg to get in the car. I can get out of bed now. I can go to the toilet by myself. I can shower. I can wash my hair. I can, things that I don't have to. I can't. I cannot turn the TV on if I get up by myself in the night, because sometimes if I can't sleep, now that I can do things myself, I've been getting up, but I can't turn on the plugs to turn the TV on and the soundbar. So that's a bummer. I've been very good about trying to keep the 90-degree rule. Been trying to, that's, very big. Not turning over, not rolling over in bed. Been doing that. Walking, not sitting for too long, like every hour, getting up, moving around. I go out the garden now and water all the plants. I've got shitloads of plants. And that's brought joy back into my life. My dogs have been great. It's like they know that there's something wrong, but they've been really good. Well, that is just the current, what I've got to say. I really appreciate you following me. If you are ready for a hip replacement, thank you for following this. If you are a person with CAA, Cerebral Amyloid Angiopathy, and you're following me, thank you. It's taking me a while to edit, and I'm sorry for that, but a lot of that is you've got to be in the mood to edit. I've really just not really edited these videos. I've just, as we've taken them, I've just kind of like just put them on, because I got to the stage that if I did it Oh, I don't want to go to sleep because it's too early. I'm just resting my legs. But if I just don't put them on, it's not going to happen. And that's not what I want to do. Okay, so thank you for following me. Please like, subscribe, and share my videos. You can contact me by email. It's usually somewhere. If it's not on the video, it's actually on my channel page. You can give me a comment. I always have trouble. It always says I've got a lot of comments, but I can't find them all, so I don't know what I'm doing wrong there. I'm not a medical person. I'm not a doctor. I'm not giving you medical advice. I am just inviting you along to share my journey and just see what I did and what had to be for me. You have your own journey. So anything, any decision, any pills, anything that I have said, please, that is my journey. You must ask your doctor and you must do what is right specifically for you. That way you stay safe. I stay safe. Okay, my good grief, look at my hair. I look like a witch. Okay, thank you, and I will see you in the next video.